Folks, welcome to the Guardium Data Protection client presentation. This presentation will give you an overview of Guardium Data Protection and the value it provides. Forward-leaning companies who will lead in the next era are embracing change at an accelerated pace, with business priorities driving their digital transformation. Their entire value chain, employees, suppliers, partners, and customers, need to access data using multiple devices from distributed and remote locations. Data has become a shared resource between users and communities. To move fast and at scale, companies are using AI and analytics and more modular containerized applications. They're embracing new infrastructure approaches with servers and networks distributed across hybrid cloud environments to match the right workload to the right cloud environment for their business. The success of this digital transformation is dependent on one universal, non-negotiable requirement, which is cybersecurity. The problem is that many organizations view security with a least effort to comply approach to adhere to regulations. But make no mistake about it, in our new digital economy, trust will prove to be a competitive advantage. Traditional security can keep pace. It wasn't built to handle the level and complexity of the transformation that's going on today. Security leaders have too much to do, too many tools from too many vendors, and too much complexity in their processes, all of which can lead to too many alerts with not enough skilled staff to deal with them. As companies modernize IT and move to hybrid cloud environments, their data footprint is expanding. That expanded footprint creates a bigger attack surface for hackers to get to your data. To meet the challenge, security leaders are deploying dozens of point tools to protect their data and assets. But this ad hoc strategy is disconnected, insufficiently integrated, and reactive. To make matters worse, traditional security programs still operate in silos. Sure, there are connections between the silos, and it's a good start, but it lacks the visibility and context needed to gain critical insight to advance business safety in our era. Simply put, companies need to transform their security program to keep up with their business, but with too much to do, too many vendors, and too much complexity, and too many alerts, they were having to rethink this approach. Using a zero-trust approach helps security teams advance their businesses securely. IBM Security's zero-trust approach wraps security around every user, every device, every connection, every time. This approach provides continuous protection for users, data, and assets, as well as the ability to proactively manage threats. Today, organizations worldwide are adopting zero-trust architectures, and IBM Security is helping clients overcome their challenges by putting zero trust into action with a modern, open approach to security that aligns with business priorities, called the SHIELD approach. The SHIELD approach enables IBM clients to implement a zero trust security strategy that is both adaptive and continuous. IBM is committed to helping clients deliver a security strategy that will speed them up, not slow them down. This approach focuses on 4 key security outcomes. 1 is aligning your security strategy to your business. The second is to protect digital users, assets, and data. Thirdly, we manage defenses against growing threats. And finally, modernize your security with an open multi-cloud platform. IBM's portfolio of products and services align to these 4 key areas and are backed by decades of investment. Align, protect, manage, and modernize. Simple to remember and powerful if applied. Data is moving everywhere, shifting from on-prem to the cloud, spurred by digital transformation and the desire to leverage data for business value. As more data moves to the cloud, the obstacles and security vulnerabilities grow. Hybrid multi-cloud is thick with regulatory requirements for data security, data privacy, and data storage. And data continues to be a prime target for theft because it can be monetized on the black market or used in ransomware attacks. As the data footprints expands, So does the attack surface and the potential impact on an organization's bottom line. The independent cybersecurity research group, the Ponemon Institute, publishes an annual cost of a data breach report. There are several pain points from that report that eloquently illustrate the high cost of not implementing the appropriate security controls. A data breach can have widespread impact across an organization, from reputation loss to legal fines, remediation fees, client retention, and so on, all of which impact on an organization's bottom line. Ponemon reports that the average cost of a breach is $4.88 million US. Regulations aren't going away. In fact, they're proliferating. Organizations with a high level of compliance failures, which result in fines, penalties, and lawsuits, experienced an average cost of a data breach that is $2.3 million US higher than for organizations with low levels of compliance failures. Clients need a solution that simplifies and accelerates the compliance process through automation. More AI and automation meant lower breach costs. The more organizations used AI and automation, the lower their average breach costs. That correlation is striking and one of the key findings of this year's report. Organizations not using AI and automation had average costs of $5.72 million US, while those making extensive use of AI and automation had average costs of $3.84 million US, a saving of $1.88 million. Another metric that can have an impact on an organization's bottom line is the time it takes to detect and contain a data breach. The longer it takes to remediate, the greater the impact of the breach. This metric is a measure of how effective an organization's incident response and containment process is. On average, it took 277 days to identify and contain a breach. To put this in perspective, if a breach occurring on January 1st and took 277 days to identify and contain, the breach wouldn't be contained until October 4th of that year. Organizations need a smarter, continuous approach to data security with a set of capabilities that lock down their environment's attack surface and give them the confidence to aggressively pursue business strategies. These capabilities cover 5 strategic areas: discover, protect, analyze, respond, and comply. Discover and classify sensitive data across on-prem and cloud data stores. Organizations need a complete view of their data landscape in order to effectively assess, prioritize, and take action on threats and other issues. Protect sensitive data through policies and data activity monitoring. Organizations need to continuously track and monitor their sensitive data to detect and respond to suspicious user behavior. Address any exposures and vulnerabilities and closely guard against excessive entitlements and privileges. Analyze and harden against risks and vulnerabilities with advanced analytics and assessments. Security teams need to understand where the greatest risks are in the environment, which data sources may be at risk, and the potential risky users attempting to gain access to sensitive data. They need to improve the detection of vulnerabilities and misconfigurations. Respond to threats in real time and send actionable alerts to security operating systems. When potential threats are detected, organizations need to be able to instantly block or shut down a suspicious activity and open a case for deeper investigation. Security analysts need to gain access to key insights that enable faster recovery and reduce the business impact. Comply with data privacy and security regulations, and simplify auditing and reporting. Many traditional data security platforms have become overwhelmed by the increased volume of data security and auditing data, whether that data comes from monitoring a greater number of platforms and events, or whether it is audit-related data that must be stored for longer periods of time. Automated processes are necessary to make this workload manageable. Guardian Data Protection can bring these capabilities to bear and deliver meaningful business value. IBM worked with the Ponemon Institute to do a survey of more than 180 Guardian clients. The statistics on this slide highlight the benefit that Guardian can deliver for each of the capabilities introduced on the previous slide. Under Discover, when using Guardian, the average client's accuracy of data classification improved by 50%. Under Protect, Guardian increased the ability to detect threats with accuracy on average by 43%. Under Analyze, Guardian can investigate anomalies to understand what activities are creating risk in the organization. Guardian can empower businesses to better uncover data source vulnerabilities by 67%. Under Respond, in the area of data threat response, the time spent identifying and remediating data security issues with Guardian decreased 42%. And under Comply, the survey also shows that Guardian can simplify compliance tasks, and clients are spending less time to prepare for an audit by 89%. In person hours, that's 1,250 hours, down to 478 hours. For clients, these efficiencies not only translate to bottom line savings, but also helps to minimize the financial and brand impact of a data breach, as well as maintain trust. Let's take a closer look at how IBM Security Guardian Data Protection delivers on this set of capabilities. For Discover, Guardian Data Protection discovers and classifies both on-prem and cloud data sources. Guardian supports data discovery using a policy-based approach. Out-of-the-box and custom classifier policies can be defined to perform catalog or metadata discovery using sensitive data regular expressions and patterns. It can also be used to perform exact data match and unstructured data discovery. For Protect, Guardian Data Protection does what it does best, which is data activity monitoring via rule-based security and compliance policies to log and alert on unauthorized data access and suspicious activity. Guardian Data Protection provides both agent-based and agentless methods to monitor data sources. It supports multiple monitoring methods under each of these categories based on the type of data source and where it is located, in the cloud or in the data center. This presentation will review these monitoring approaches in more detail. For Analyze, Guardian Data Protection offers vulnerability assessments to scan data infrastructures, such as databases, big data warehouses, big data environments, and so on, to detect vulnerabilities and suggest remedial actions. The solution identifies exposures such as missing patches, weak passwords, unauthorized changes, and misconfigured privileges. Guardian Data Protection also offers analytical tools for deeper investigations in risky users and priority cases. For Respond, Guardian Data Protection helps surface data-level security threats to improve security operations with integrations to ServiceNow and to security information and event solutions such as Splunk and QRadar. It enables security orchestration and response with IBM Security SOAR. There are also options to take real-time actions with blocking and redaction via agents in order to stop potential threats as soon as they are spotted. The right side of the screen shows a vulnerability assessment with a risk score of various data sources, including the number of anomalies by source, the severity of the anomaly, and a drop-down to take further action on it. Lastly, for Comply, Guardian Data Protection can help accelerate a client's ability to address data security and privacy compliance with easy-to-set-up compliance policies and monitoring, a data access audit trail, entitlement reporting, and compliance reports. Guardian provides out-of-the-box report templates to get started with compliance monitoring for various regulations and standards. It also offers options to define custom audit workflows and reports to tailor the needs of various teams. Once up and running, tracking and reporting can be automated. The right side is a screenshot that tracks progress towards compliance of 3 regulations. Guardium Data Protection is built to protect a client's data, no matter where it resides across the hybrid multi-cloud environment, with centralized policy management and enforcement. For a complete list of supported databases and platforms, there is extensive supporting material in the Guardium documentation, but as shown, Guardium covers all major data sources, including databases, big data, files, mainframe, and various cloud data sources. Guardium Data Protection offers numerous deployment options to suit a client's environment, supporting deployment on several cloud platforms, and is also available as a hardware or software offering. To monitor and adapt to all your sensitive data, Guardium is uniquely positioned to address key data security challenges with a modern approach to secure a complex, hybrid, multi-cloud world. The tool is intelligent. Many traditional data security platforms have become overwhelmed by the increased volume of data across heterogeneous environments. Customers need to ensure these high-value data sources have comprehensive data protection to understand where the security events exist and take the appropriate action to quickly investigate and remediate. Guardium provides at-a-glance views that call out high-risk areas, a library of rich advanced analytics to automate threat hunting and prioritization, and options to investigate further to narrow in on a course of action. The tool is adaptive. As enterprises adopt new technologies, their data, which is stored across hybrid multi-cloud environments, is increasing in volume, variety, and velocity. As a modern solution, Guardium allows customers to select from a variety of security mechanisms to fit the data protection need, offers a range of agent and agentless connectors to monitor on-prem and cloud data assets, maintains continuous visibility over structured and unstructured data with discovery and classification, as well as centralized policy management and enforcement, so that a client's data security program with Guardium can keep pace as the data and environment grow and change. The tool is connected. IT and security professionals are under high pressure to maximize the use of their resources and time and help streamline the burden of security management and audit reporting. To help reduce silos with tools and data, Guardium streamlines work streams to accelerate responses to risk and threats, allowing analysts to open tickets efficiently and to share actionable insights with the SOC. There are pre-built integrations and open APIs to facilitate greater communication between security tools and teams, and the process of proving regulatory compliance is automated to create reports quickly and get them in front of the right people for sign-off. Guardium data protection clients are seeing results. Last year, IBM commissioned Forrester Research to interview a long-time Guardium client with a fairly mature deployment. From that engagement, they put together a projection of potential benefits that Guardium can provide to new clients. Some of the existing highlights and key findings from that report include a reduced likelihood of a data breach by 40%, increased automation that saves hours of staff time, reduced effort required to complete an audit by 75%. As a result, the client is able to work more efficiently and better secure their organization's data with Guardium. Additionally, data security has been delivered by disparate products, which has resulted in operational inefficiencies and an incomplete view of the data security and compliance landscape. Guardium, as a mature and market-leading data security platform, solves these challenges by aggregating data protection requirements across data types, storage silos, and ecosystems, significantly increasing the visibility of and control over data, and therefore helps put organizations in a position to truly secure their data. IBM Guardium is a market-leading data security platform to protect what matters most, your enterprise data, whether in the cloud or on premise. IBM Security Guardium delivers value by providing an end-to-end data security framework covering discovery and classification, vulnerability management, protection, threat detection, and response. Key capabilities of the portfolio include automatically discover and classify sensitive data across on-prem and cloud. Guardium Discover and Classify, in partnership with OneTouch, provides visibility, context, and insight into data. It uses network analytics, AI, and machine learning to continuously find and catalog sensitive and protected data of any type, anywhere. Guardium Discover and Classify is a powerful complement to Guardium products and the IBM security portfolio. Encrypt and protect data at rest, in motion and in use with encryption, tokenization, data masking, and key management capabilities. Guardium Data Encryption helps protect and control access to data across the hybrid multi-cloud environment. Additionally, monitor activity across clouds from a centralized hub using Guardium Insights. Guardium Insights can either work together with Guardium Data Protection or on its own through agentless streaming directly from database as a service sources such as AWS Kinesis and Azure Event Hubs to help organizations streamline data security and compliance infrastructure and processes. Help automate compliance using Guardium Data Protection to uncover regulated data in your data stores and generate reports using pre-built templates for regulations such as PCI, SOX, HIPAA, and many more. Detect malicious behaviors and threats and respond by scanning for known weaknesses related to configuration, user privileges, authentication, authorization, patches, and more using Guardium Vulnerability Assessment. Guardium Vulnerability Assessment scans data environments to detect vulnerabilities, security gaps, and threats that could be exploited by hackers and suggest remedial actions. Guardium Data Protection has been helping important organizations, large and small across industries, to successfully protect their data so that they can concentrate on growing their business. As shown here, numerous companies that are critical to the health of the economy depend on Guardium Data Protection for their data security and compliance needs. To sum it up, Guardium Data Protection can help customers take a modern, zero-trust approach to data security as threats continue to grow. Guardium is positioned to help you proactively stay ahead of the threats with intelligent analytics. Guardium can help adapt and modernize your data program as your data landscape evolves. And as your business transforms and moves to the cloud, Guardium helps you get your arms around threat response and the ever-changing security and privacy regulations with fewer silos. This brings us to the end. And I want to thank you for taking the time to go through this presentation, and I do hope you found it beneficial.